to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at graphics design. But before we go into designing proper, we need to understand what are the basic principles that we need to put in place or consider when we're making design or when we're creating designs, right? So this was written by Adobe Creative Cloud Express. It's one of the platforms that produces a graphic design application, but we won't be using any of the Adobe suite of softwares. We'll be using Canva. So graphic design is a highly sought after skill. Like we know, people care about the way things look, and there is a constant need to produce good designs, whether it's for advertisements, website logo, video, banners, or web content. You don't need to be a pro designer to create highly shareable content, especially when adding design elements to photos you already have. Is as easy as a couple of taps on your phone. So slick tools are only part of the puzzle. You still need to develop an eye for what design decisions improve your work and what detracts from your message. Here are 8 basic design principles to keep in mind when working with visuals and creating graphics, plus templates to help you get started with design. So the first thing here is alignment. What does alignment mean? It helps create a sharp, ordered appearance for ultimately better designs by ensuring your various elements have a pleasing connection with each other. Center, right, left aligned text is the most common, but you can also align text to other objects in your graphic. If something looks not quite right in your design, check your alignment. So here we can see there is a text on one side, then there is an image on the other side, right? What this shows you, like when you look at it, you don't feel like, okay, one side is overweighing the other side. That is what alignment helps you to do. It kind of like creates a balance in your design. Then here is another one. We have an image almost at the top of the center top of the template, and then you have text around. So instead of one side feeling like, okay, I am empty, there's nothing close to me or around me, it just creates a balance, like, okay, a balanced diet in design. The second one is hierarchy. Hierarchy simply is when you have multiple visual elements in a design, you want to make sure you are giving extra visual weight to your most important message. So the message that is of most importance should be the one that more emphasis is laid upon. This is called hierarchy, and it can be accomplished in a variety of ways. Larger or bolder fonts, placing your most important message physically higher than other pieces of information, or using shapes to frame the central point. So here, we are open is like the major message on these templates, because the writing is bolder, is bigger, and stands out compared to every other thing. So this is what hierarchy does. It helps you to, like, it enables you to emphasize the main message of your graphic. Then for this second template, the main message here is that what? It is the menu, right? So now that you know it is the menu, the main sides, and then the drinks, is telling you, okay, this is the subheading. So hierarchy just helps you lay emphasis on the most important message. So we said the first one is alignment, which is ensuring there is a balance in your template, and then the second one is hierarchy. Then utilizing the fundamental principles of design starts with your message and the goal of your design. So each of the creatives or each of the graphic you create must have a particular objective or a particular goal in mind. You do not want to gather or compile all the messages you want to send all at once. Like, choose one objective and then use that one objective to create a template to show what that message you want to pass at that point in time is, right? So now, utilizing the fundamental principle of design starts with your message and the goal of your design. Figure out what the most important piece of info is first. Then make sure that is the focal point of your design. How do you know if you've accomplished the right visual hierarchy? Try squinting. Squinting is like reducing how wide or open your eyes are, and then look at your design. If your most important message readable, still unsure, ask someone who is not familiar with the content to identify which piece of information they read first and second. Then contrast. Contrast is an important part of design because It lets you draw out the most important element of a design and add emphasis. Contrast happens when two design elements are in opposition to one another, like black and white, thick and thin, modern and traditional. High contrast can help guide the viewer's eye to the most important parts of your design. So here we have a dark background, and then we have white elements on top. But the most prominent of them is the bike that has a delivery box at the back. A bike with a delivery box behind it. So once you see this, and then there are 3 lines that is showing, like, okay, it is in motion in a dash. Like, this is what I can tell you from looking at this design. So that means you can get your meals delivered to you as soon as possible. Do you get? So this is what contrast helps you to do. Like, it gives, once I look at the design, I know, okay, this is the message they are trying to pass across to me. Then here's another one. Who run the world? Girls. Like, the girls pops out of the entire information. So whether you're using contrasting colors or pairing bold typefaces are simply the different types of, rather, the different categories of fonts, right, that are used in writing. That is what typefaces are. So whether you're using contrasting colors or pairing bold typefaces with delicate fonts, using this principle of design helps to create variety in your graphic. Don't worry if the English is plenty. We just need to have a general background knowledge of this before we now go into designing proper. Then repetition. Repeating colors, fonts, words, shapes can help tie your design and overall look together. It also helps people remember your brand or other important information. So employ repetition in your overall content strategy by using consistent colors, fonts, and brand imagery to help people recognize your brand. So here, there are like blobs at the background, and the blobs are of similar shapes, right? And then this person customized it to their own color. That is what repetition is about. So this shape is being repeated, and then you can see that the colors of the shapes behind are the colors that are some of the colors that are on the text. So we have these is it burnt brown, I would call it. Then we have the peach color in the writing too. So also in the second template, like, the colors that are overall on the design from the text and then to the shapes behind, they are similar. So when you look at it, there's this uniformity, there's this unity amongst the design elements that makes up this particular template. Then proximity is the 5th one. First one was alignment. Then we looked at hierarchy. Then we looked at hierarchy. After hierarchy, we looked at contrast. After contrast, we looked at repetition. And then now we're looking at proximity. Proximity is also helping in creating organization on a design. Okay, since similar or related elements should be grouped together to create a relationship between them, ideally, you cluster the elements together in a way that helps to declutter the overall design and supports comprehension of the information. What this simply means is that you know that the graphics you're creating is to pass an information with clarity. So all of the things that will be on your template should not be so overwhelming that the message is lost. Are you with me? Here, looking at this design, like, the first thing I see is books on the top shelf. Then we have Happy National Book Lovers Day, your favorite book. So you can see how bringing the elements together just makes the template feel like, okay, like, I really get what the information on this template is all about. How to distress at home. So what do we mean by proximity here? Okay, they're telling us how to distress at home, and then they're showing us various ways people can distress. The images are not too far-fetched from each other, that like there is a connection and a space. Connection means, okay, here we have meditation, here we have FaceTime with friends, here we have workout at home, and then here we have try a new recipe and then take a nap, right? How to distress at home. The position of how to distress at home, they didn't like place it all the way up there and then the elements all the way down there. That is what that is about. And then, okay, here we have save the dates. Like, this is really poor. When you're writing, you don't write such that your text is all the way to the borders of your template. So this is a terrible example. The next one is balance. Balance gives a design its form and stability, but it doesn't mean elements need to be the same size or that everything must be symmetrical. Rather, it's about helping the viewer's eye travel through the content in a way that aids comprehension. Symmetrical balance weights the elements evenly on either side of the design, while asymmetrical balance uses contrast to even out the flow of design. So here, the elements we have are all different, but because of the way, right? So the elements are all different, but because of the way they've been arranged, like, it creates a balance on both the right side of the template and the left side of the template, right? So when you look at these blue shapes on the four corners, you can see they are not the same types of shapes, but because they've been placed at almost similar directions opposite each other, you don't feel like, okay, one side is weighing more than the other side. Then even the center, the focal point, that's the middle of the graphic itself. My favorite local businesses and gifts. So we have this tag a restaurant to the left, showing a bulb or a circle attached to a rectangle. So one is going to the left, the other one to the right, and then another one to the left. So there's just, you just feel this balance. You don't feel like, okay, there's more on the right as against what is on the left, right? And then looking at this one also, various blobs have been used, different colors according to the person's brand colors. But you can see, you just feel, yeah, this is balanced. Like, your eye does not feel overweighted by one side or the other. The next one is color. Color is a powerful design principle because it helps you communicate on an emotional level. And subconscious level, understanding the basics of color theory can help you use color to your advantage. For instance, blue tends to make people feel calm or trusting, while red can help rile up emotions. So mostly you see food businesses that want people to feel hungry when they look at their graphics. Most of them use red, right? Because it helps stir up emotions. Then it's why stop signs and often buy buttons tend to be red. Check out 101 winning color combination. So here, I'll be sending us this article so that we can go further and look. So you need to like research, okay, what brand am I? What kind of colors are associated with my brand? Are you with me? Or what kind of colors will I want to be associated with my brand? And then this will go back to, okay, what promise are you making to your customers? So what kind of colors will go in line with you keeping up to that promise? Let me just go back and check these 101 winning color combinations. Let's just have a look of how. So we have pastel and muted tones. So these are pastel colors. This is the palette behind, or rather beneath, this house image, and we can see how they were combined together to kind of like form a harmonious relationship between the elements on the design. Here we have another template. You can see the colors here, and you can see how the colors come into play in this living room or whatever that place is. Then even in food, we can see how, like, everything you look at, there is a way colors are used that gives a balance in their creation. So this is basically what color combination does. Like, the colors are so different, but kind of like gives a feel of unity between the design elements. So I can go back to our main topic. Next is space. So we just looked at color. Next is space. The parts of your design you choose to leave blank are just as important as the ones you are filling with colors, text, and images. Negative space, otherwise known as white space, creates shape and can help highlight the most important pieces of information in your design. Never underestimate the power of simplicity. So here, we have only two texts, or rather three. Adventure, which is the main heading, then the never stop at the top, and then the exploring at the bottom. Like, anybody that sees this knows it's about adventure. either going on travels, going hiking. So if you're somebody that is into adventures, like, this will pique your interest, right? So they didn't speak too much English, but the message was direct and concise. Be well. So this one is like sending a message to somebody, like, be well, be good, like, take care of yourself. Don't allow things to overwhelm you. My brand is about helping you gain better insights into your wellness and stuff like that. So we can see how really simplicity does it all. Then that brings us to the end. So I'll be dropping the link of this what do you call it, the link to this article in the description section of this video, so you can click on it to read further. The next thing we'll now do after learning this is now to go into Canva, which is the app that we'll be using to see how we put all of what we have learned into practice.